Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening's Parents and Family Forum. My name is Eric Lasan, and I'm from Parent Engagement. So glad that you're all here with us this evening. Before we begin, I'll share a few logistical items. This session will operate much like a webinar. We've taken the questions submitted by you in advance and shared them with our panelists so they can include those answers in their remarks. We also have Abby Kale, Associate Director of Parent Engagement, managing production with us this evening. Throughout this evening's presentation, we'll monitor the Q&A tab at the bottom of your Zoom screen, so please submit your questions as you have them. You can also use the Q&A function if you're having technical difficulties, and Abby or I will do our best to help. This evening's session will focus on career development at Willamette. And before we turn the presentation over to Mandy and the career development team, I'd like to welcome David Perry, MBA 05, to say a few words.
Yeah, hello, my name is Dave Perry, as Eric said, and I went to Willamette Atkinson Graduate School of Management and graduated in 2005. I am a member of the Alumni Board of Directors, and I'm the chair of the Career Committee. One of our focuses for the Career Committee is to help the Willamette community, inclusive of students, with their career development, career design, career help, giving them access and engagement to other folks in the Willamette community. And one of the ways we do that is we ask our alumni to give at least 15 minutes of their time connecting back to the Willamette community and helping students. Now we know the secret is once they start talking to your student, they're not going to be able to stop at 15 minutes, right? So it's going to go, they'll be deeply engaged. And one example of that was some of our alumni connected with graduating students. And one person shared with me that they had several conversations with a student that they got a lot of fulfillment out of that to help this person, explore their career, explore what they were trying to accomplish post Willamette. And so that's our goal, is to have alumni really help in the Willamette community give back to students and the broader community in a career way. If you are interested in helping in any way, shape, or form on that, sharing your career experience with our current students, alumni, you're welcome to kind of join that community and join what we call Woo Connect. And there'll be Abby in the channel is posting right now how that might work, or you can email the university and get involved that way. Thanks, Eric.
All right, thanks so much for joining us this evening, David. It's awesome to have you with us. And now I'll introduce our moderator for this evening, Mandy Devereaux. As a career professional with over 15 years of experience, Mandy has expertise in strategic leadership, relationship management, employer engagement, and career advising. She serves as our Executive Director of Career Initiatives and oversees the career teams for our Undergraduate College of Arts and Sciences, our Atkinson Graduate School of Management, the Pacific Northwest College of Art, and she is the career lead for our Masters of Science in Data Science program. Mandy earned an Associates of Arts in Public Relations before transferring to Columbia College for her Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. After serving as a career professional for over a decade, Mandy enrolled in Oregon State University and earned an MBA in Executive Leadership. And Mandy is proud of her Midwestern roots and to have been the first person in her family to attend college. She lives here in Salem with her husband, daughter, and 2 poodles. And Mandy, I'm so appreciative of you and your team for joining us tonight. So I'll hand it off to you and let you all take it away from here.
Thank you so much, Eric, and thank you, David, also for your support of our alumni and support of our students. We're very excited to be with parents this evening. I had a chance to meet some parents over family weekend, and quite honestly, I just love talking about the work that this team does and what we offer your students here at Willamette as part of their career development. This team has grown actually quite tremendously over the last 6 years that I've been at Willamette. Over time, of course, we have grown in interest and in engagement across campus. But last year was particularly exciting as we merged with the Pacific Northwest College of Art, and we centralized career leadership and joined also with our data science program and our Atkinson Graduate School of Management. So we are a career team of 11 professionals, both in Salem and in Portland, and we serve students in the undergraduate College of Arts and Sciences, as well as our professional schools as well. So it's been very exciting to bring the team together and to hire some new folks. And the highlight today is really going to be the team talking to you about their work and what they do. But right now we are fully staffed as of about a month ago. So there's 2 new members here that will get to tell you a little bit about what they've been up to as they've kind of launched their various career communities. But we do sit on, for our undergraduate College of Arts and Sciences, we have a framework of career communities. What that means for us is that we really connect the liberal arts and all of the different ways that our students earn skills through the liberal arts to communities of career interest for our students. So we have 6, and the team will tell you a little bit about each one of them as they showcase their work. We do have 2 members of our team that were not feeling well tonight, Dr. Ann Lepore, who's our associate director, and Katrina Garcia, who's our programs coordinator. So I'm going to jump in and take their slides. So Ann was our first presenter. Ann has been with the team. She was actually my first hire almost 6 years ago. She came the fall after I started here, and she oversees our career advising team. So she's kind of our lead advisor, and works a lot with our faculty on the undergraduate side to really integrate career development into the curriculum. She does manage a career community of her own, education, culture, and society, and works with our career team to ensure that we are providing early career engagement to your students and culturally informed career advising, as well as some of the early career programs that we do with our first and second year students. As I'm looking at the slide now, I'm talking about Ann's area, but there's a couple of things I wanted to highlight here. We really do focus on early career engagement. So the team, particularly Ann, and you'll hear from Ilan as well, we really are trying to engage with your students early and often. A lot of students come to Willamette still curious about careers or open to the possibilities. And what we really want to do is engage with them early so that we have a chance to help them explore and have career conversations and have internships and experiences that will really help them decide what it is that they are excited about and would like to do. We also offer some internship funds that I love to tell parents about because we have a wonderful relationship with our alumni relations, our advancement team. And we have grown to, I think we have 9 internship funds now and donors who actually support other things. We have a donor who is paying for everyone to take the GRE this year and things like that. So we have some really incredible partnerships that allow our students, if they're taking low or unpaid internships to for summer, to get some funding help in that regard. Eric, you can move to Ann's slide.
Oh, sure.
So a little bit more about Ann. Again, that partnership with faculty relationships. Each one of our career advisors will showcase to you a little bit about how they work. I call it a trifecta. So first, responsibility to students. And one of the best ways that we partner with students is through active collaboration with our faculty across common majors within their career communities, and then work with our alumni and employer relations community to kind of round out that expertise, make sure that we are actively developing relationships to create internships for students, job opportunities for students. And Ann is the lead of that team. She also leads all of our career courses. She teaches career planning and decision-making. She oversees our internship for academic credit. And then I teach our job and internship search strategies, which kind of frames and kind of teaches the career decision part, and then I teach the job search strategies piece. You're going to hear early and often a whole bunch of times throughout this presentation. It's kind of my mantra, and the team all will say that. But we have lots of ways that we engage with your students from the colloquium courses that they take as first-year students. We have 3 different campus partners that are working with your students, and then we get to do a career education course with them during that first year. During major declaration, we get to work with them, and then we also get to work with them as they engage in kind of co-curricular engagement, different student clubs, things like that. We also are designing a sophomore event that will take place this spring. So we hope that that's a pilot program this year. So we hope that your students get to experience that if they are first or second year students. If they are, advanced juniors and seniors, I'll let the career advisors talk about once they declare the major, the kinds of work that they're getting to do with your students. But I get the pleasure here of introducing one of our newest hires, Alon. Alon is our career advisor. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. Our career advisor for the Rengen Deloitte Pathways program, and focuses on early career engagement for students from underrepresented and marginalized communities. Alon, would you like to take it away?
Sure. My name is Ilan Palacio Salvaneri. I started about a month ago as a career advisor for the Rengen Deloitte Pathways program. That essentially means that I work primarily with students from historically underserved groups to find their future career path. These groups include, but are not limited to, Black and Indigenous students, students of color, LGBTQ plus students, students with disabilities and neurodivergence, first-gen students, and low-income students. So I'm kind of the one person on the team one of the people on the team that works in all the different career communities, regardless of major, that kind of thing. So to support all these groups' career development, I try to think actively about the ways that their various identities might affect their career choices. As we know, race, class, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, family structure, culture, religion, they all affect students' values and the types of careers that they might be interested in, sometimes in unexpected ways and sometimes in expected ways. So kind of use an example. Many students at Willamette come from low-income families. Their parents might not have gone to college and may be struggling to pay the bills while their kid is in college. And they might, push their kids to get an education as a result and to earn enough money to survive, not just to survive, but to be comfortable. And this often presents challenges for low-income students and first-gen students. They might ask themselves, should they lessen their course load and take a job to support their family? Or what if they like a major in a particular vision of a career that is seemingly less lucrative? They might consider just majoring in STEM, for example, because they think that would make their parents happy. My job in a nutshell is to be sensitive to these economic and cultural identities among many, many, many others, and to help students navigate their career search regardless of the circumstance. And if we could go to the next slide. So one other way I try to do this, aside from one-on-one mentorship and advising meetings with students, as Mandy brought up, we try to engage students early and often. So thinking about a career can feel stressful to anyone when it is done in a rush. And this holds especially true for historically underserved students who are disproportionately denied access to various resources throughout their upbringings. To support students from these groups, I try to, build confidence and encouragement and validation and support during my one-on-one meetings. But I also work with some fantastic people in our department to engage in intentional programming. So I'm just kind of starting out, but I'm trying to think about ways to plan networking events for BIPOC, LGBTQ plus, and first-gen students. And I'm also currently advocating for professional development funds for low-income students to help them apply for graduate school and different opportunities that they might not have access to. And specifically next semester, I'm planning on hosting an event called First Gen and Juice, started by my predecessor, Jessica Davis, specifically for first-gen students who are navigating navigating an environment that can feel really foreign and alienating. And I know that personally as a first-gen student. And I'm also co-organizing a Black and Brown Networking Night with another advisor next March. The date is forthcoming, Manny Machado, who you will hear from later. And with that, I will pass it on to Claire.
Thank you so much, Alon. Hi, everyone. My name is Claire, and I'm Willamette's Family Care Pre-Health Director. This means I have the privilege of being the career advisor for students who are interested in pursuing careers that are within the healthcare, public health, and wellness career community. This is a pretty broad umbrella that includes careers in medicine, dentistry, public health, and physical therapy, among many other professions. Additionally, I get to work with faculty across Willamette's academic majors within the College of Arts and Sciences at Willamette to support and build upon a pre-health advising program that's been longstanding and led by faculty. So I'm new to this role, but I'm not new to Willamette. I joined the career development team near the end of September, but I did graduate from Willamette's College of Arts and Sciences. So I had the opportunity to experience firsthand the really rich set of resources and experiences that a liberal arts education at Willamette can provide to all of our students, and that I think is a particularly powerful foundation for a career in health. Employers and professional schools focused on health are often looking for individuals who are well-rounded, compassionate, and service-oriented. They want people who can think critically and who have the broad perspective needed to be effective professionals and leaders in their fields. And as an interdisciplinary institution that's focused on preparing students for lives of achievement and meaning, I think Willamette is really well-suited to raise up individuals who really excel in these criteria. As the pre-health director, part of my job is to help students take advantage of the unique set of opportunities that Willamette has to offer students. So this includes developing relationships with faculty who are experts in their fields and who might be future recommenders for students, and also resources as students pursue their career goals. Also for students who are interested in taking a course like human anatomy at the undergraduate level, Willamette is one of very few undergraduate institutions that offers a cadaver anatomy lab. I took human anatomy while I was a student here, and I can attest to it being a really unique and powerful learning experience. Also as an undergraduate only institution within the College of Arts and Sciences, Willamette students have access to opportunities that would typically be reserved for graduate students elsewhere. So this includes opportunities to contribute to faculty-led research, and students also have the potential to become teaching assistants under faculty supervision within labs such as our anatomy lab. Additionally, as a liberal arts institution, we're committed to and have the structure to support students in pursuing careers in health without limiting them to a really narrow pre-health path. We really want to support students to have the space to engage their interests from a variety of different perspectives in a way that's really tailored to them as individuals. And yeah, as the pre-health director, my job is to provide advising to students for every stage of the process as students are exploring and pursuing careers in health and wellness. So this means supporting students in choosing a major that's going to support their academic and career goals. I also support students with charting a path for acquiring the academic, co-curricular, and sometimes postgraduate experiences they need in order to successfully apply for graduate and professional schools in health. This can look sometimes especially complex for students preparing for careers in healthcare. So I want to really make sure that students have the structure and the individualized support that they need to be successful. And part of that is coming into career development early and often in their time here as students. My job is also to connect students with opportunities where they can build their knowledge of and experience in their field of interest. So this means helping students collect connect with alumni and professionals currently working in their field of interest, and also supporting students in finding jobs, internships, and volunteer opportunities where they're able to apply their classroom learning, develop skills, and clarify their career goals. So looking toward the future, I'm looking forward to launching a newsletter where we can inform students of on and off campus events and resources that students can use to explore careers in healthcare. This will include local, national, and international opportunities to gain hands-on experience in health-related and research settings. I'm also going to be working to expand internships and other co-curricular activities for students by developing relationships with community partners who can host our students. And that's something I'm really excited about. So if you have any questions about what it means for your student to be pre-health at Willamette, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is choffman@willamette.edu. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Manny Machado, who is the career advisor for business and entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much, Claire. My name is Manny Machado, and like Claire said, I'm the career advisor for business and entrepreneurship. I have been here at Willamette for now a year and a half, and let me tell you, it has been nothing but a joy working with our students. When it comes to working with students interested in business, it is all like what we've been saying, early engagement. From the first moments that they step on the campus, we really try to do a lot of partnerships across campus to identify some of our students, such as within business, whether that be through the admissions office or through our Student Success Hub, being able to identify who our business students are and helping them with their goal setting and moving forward in their personal career initiative. In addition to that, through my role, I am here to support our students who might not necessarily go into business directly, but are thinking about entering business through a different lens or pursuing business after their time here at Willamette. What's really great about the start of my position is also the start of our new business major that's also launched last year. Working closely with our faculty members in that program, as well as other programs, has been something of a joy of mine. And specifically through programs that have required internships, those are ones that I definitely look forward to, as I want our students to be able to succeed, to be able to take what they are learning in the classroom and actually be able to apply it to a lived experience. And one of the things that I also love about my role is that I have a role where it gets to not just only serve our undergraduate students, but it also gives an opportunity for me to serve our graduate students. Our 3-2 MBA program is a well-known program, and to be able to get that continued support through all 5 years is something that I absolutely love and adore about my role, is because they get that continued support and being able to continue to grow and move forward with their own career initiative. In terms of what I am currently doing right now for my work, right now it's really doing outreach, relationship building, and expanding external partnerships, whether that be with alumni or employers. It's really about developing those partnerships for students to be able to not only build their professional network, but also, as I said earlier, to be able to apply some of their experiences in the classroom into a lived experience. In addition to that, it's collaboration with some of our student organizations that are especially a little bit more focused on career initiatives, maybe helping them bring in various experts or various professionals within different fields, getting them sending them opportunities about ways that they can further advance themselves with their personal skill sets. And as well as doing partnerships with our faculty and offering workshops or conversations that aid what is being taught in the classroom. So just some of the examples that I have done this year and even past semesters during my time here at Willamette includes like job and internship strategies, talking about how to develop your personal brand, putting together a marketing panel of a way to see if marketing is something of interest, and this past 2 weeks, we put on a Black and Brown business networking night for our students of color to be able to network with various professionals within various areas of business. And there's so much more that can come to be. And I look forward to continue to working with your students in moving forward with their own career initiative. And with that said, I am going to pass it over to my colleague, Alexander, the Career Advisor for Public Service, Nonprofit, and Law.
Thank you so much, Manny. Allow me to introduce myself to everyone. My name is Alexander Vasquez Ibarra, and I use he, him pronouns. I serve as the Career Advisor for Public Service, Nonprofit, and Law here at Willamette, and I'm actually a Willamette University alumni, or an alum myself from the class of 2021. And I recognize that kind of navigating the Willamette experience as a first-generation college student, I bring kind of some of that experience with me into this role as I currently advise our Willamette students who are undergraduates. Part of how I utilize my role in my practice and goals are to help students learn about vocational discernment and career exploration for our undergraduate students in the College of Arts and Sciences. So I serve students who are interested in these types of careers, or even students from other majors or professional career interests, to help provide and connect professional development opportunities in public service, in government, in nonprofits, non-governmental organizations, legal careers or the legal field, and also careers in advocacy. And part of the ways that I help students to think about career, especially in this career community, is by combining a couple of unique things that liberal arts colleges have. So a liberal arts education in and of itself is interdisciplinary. It bridges, multiple kind of sectors of the academy. And we recognize that that kind of solid foundation of broad-based knowledge of a liberal arts degree, in combination with things like experiential learning, so internship opportunities in state agencies or at the Oregon State Capitol, those are all popular opportunities for our students, as well as nonprofit organizations in the Salem and Portland areas. As these are, opportunities for students to learn about the political process, opportunities for them to get hands-on experience in the state capitol, and to learn with legislators, learn about kind of the role of advocates in democracy, and about Oregon's, legislative democracy. So those things, so liberal arts education plus combining experiential learning with transferable skills, kind of leads our students in this career community towards great success. And the transferable skills component is really some of these conversations that I often have with students, in recognizing that kind of everything that you do in the liberal arts, whether that's the classes that you take, the majors that you declare, or the student clubs or organizations, the jobs and internships, all of those are going to have transferable skills that you can then market in this career community. I also want to talk a little bit about some of my core values, which are community engagement and relationship building. So how I approach my work is very much building relationships with faculty in the kind of majors and departments that I work very closely with. So the politics, policy, law, and ethics major, the sociology major, the international studies major, as well as other programs and departments as well. But I primarily work with those faculty and with faculty who are connected to the public service, nonprofit, and law career community. I also build relationships with alumni and with students through kind of very dedicated events, such as classroom presentations, where I'm going specifically to classrooms and kind of sharing information around resumes or cover letters, or transferable skills by major, or opportunities for students to learn about professional networking and how you use that professional network. Also, some events that I organize are coffee and career chats, which are kind of informal opportunities for students to ask career questions. I organized a federal judges career panel in collaboration with the Willamette Law School this year. I've been in this role for about 10 months. I started in December of last year. And over that time, we've been able to plan a couple of different collaborative events that are spotlighting very specific careers. So that was an opportunity as well. I also am very involved in pre-law advising here at Willamette, meaning I advise students who are interested in either applying to do the 3-3 program here, where they can get their undergraduate degree and also their law degree in a total of 6 years, or students who are interested in applying to law schools or other graduate schools altogether, Masters in Public Administration, Masters in Public Policy, Masters in Urban or Regional Planning, those types of career pathways as well. And I really recognize in my work that collaboration is key, meaning I actively work to build strategic partnerships with professionals across the street at the Oregon State Capitol, with state agencies in Salem, with nonprofit organizations that reach far and wide from Salem to Portland to other parts of the state, as well as with lawyers and Willamette alumni, lobbyists, and advocates. I also want to share that kind of one of the culminating events that I've been able to plan just over the last few months is a public service nonprofit law and advocacy networking dinner that actually just happened last night, where I was able to bring 10 different alumni from different sectors of government, lobbying, nonprofit advocacy, public administration, law, and public service, all in an informal space for students to ask questions and learn about different degree pathways and different professions under this career community. I also get to serve as a colloquium campus partner, where I am involved in one of those kind of first year experience classes and get to engage in community engagement in that way as well. And I'm just very grateful to have been an alum, to have graduated from Willamette, to kind of understand how the institution works, and now to come back and serve our students. So up next, I'm happy to introduce one of my colleagues, Jeff Dijambier, our career advisor for STEM.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Jeff. I am the career advisor for STEM. I use he, him pronouns. I am a fairly newer employee to Willamette. I started back in March, but I was a career advisor in a role before this as well at the University of Wyoming. So some of the things that I'm doing for career advising is working on partnering with different scholars programs that we have on campus. So we have our STEM Scholars program, which is a competitive program for underrepresented students in STEM. They pick about 15 to 20 a year, and they go through kind of a tailored process to give them career development workshops. They have a cohort model, so they know their classmates. They have special sections of the program for like chemistry class and colloquium. So I go to that class pretty frequently and give presentations on resumes, networking, how to find opportunities. I also work with our Fairweather Fellows, which is a brand new program in computer science and data science. I work on faculty collaborations within each of my departments. So I have about 7 departments that I work with. And I have made sure to try to get into at least one class in each of those departments, so I can try to talk to at least most of your students, if they are STEM students. A lot of what I talk about in those faculty collaboration presentations are careers in, the environment, careers in physics. A lot of times when you think of STEM, you think of the research element of it, but then you have a hard time kind of placing these careers and seeing yourself, actually doing the work. So a lot of what I do is to try to visualize that for the students and show them examples of what they can do. Looking forward, I plan to create career education plans for each of my majors, collaborating with the faculty. I'm going to kind of create a year-by-year plan of what I and the faculty are interested in the students kind of learning career-wise. So, if they want them to know about resumes by the end of year 2, I want to make sure that that's something that I'm doing when I talk to a second-year class. Something that I also do is encourage students to engage in our experiential learning programs early and often. NSF, which is the National Science Foundation, funds REUs across the country. And we have a pretty solid success rate of placing students into those REU programs. So we tell students about them. They get really interested because they can go, live in Missouri, they can go live in New York, they can go live in Texas for the summer, and then do research with national experts in whatever they're really interested in. And if going away isn't what your student is interested in, we also have a lot of on-campus research opportunities. We have our summer collaborative research program where students can work with their own faculty members in a lab over the summer. It's a paid opportunity, and you basically work a full-time job working in their lab. So students tend to get a lot of really solid research experiences out of here. Like Claire was saying earlier, because we don't have those traditional graduate programs at Willamette, like in physics and chemistry, our students get a lot of those opportunities to work in those labs and to be teaching assistants in the STEM field, which typically those opportunities would be given to those graduate students. I'm also encouraging students to do internships and volunteer whenever they can to kind of narrow down their interests. A lot of the STEM students I meet with are interested in almost everything. So I want to make sure that they have a pretty solid idea of what, maybe one or two things that they really want to do once they get to graduation. I also support students through STEM career exploration, which I was just talking about, and building those skills. So helping them actualize skills that they gain in those classes. When they take a chemistry lab class, they gain a lot of skills that are applicable to STEM careers. They just don't think of it that way because, classes, you typically wouldn't put those on a resume, but I encourage students to do that. I also provide support for our MSDS career advising, as well as our MSDS 3+1 program career advising. And then I'm also working on some external partnerships. So one of my big focuses moving forward is to build employer, alumni, and graduate program partnerships within the Willamette Valley. I just met with the University of Oregon's material science program coordinator for their PhD program to see how our students could become more competitive for that program, and also to talk about the history of our students going to that program. We have a really high rate of our physics and chemistry students going into that program. I'm also going to combine efforts with Hillary, our MSDS recruitment director, in working on some of those employer outreach programs and making some of those connections here in Salem since she's based up in Portland. And on-campus programming this summer, I'm going to do a how to get involved in research workshop coming up on November 9th. And then I'm doing a federal jobs workshop next Tuesday. A lot of STEM students do get involved in federal government work. And so I want to make sure that they are able to navigate usajobs.gov, know how to find federal jobs, how to understand those postings. And then looking forward, I'm looking to create more alumni and current student interaction. So I'm going to probably take, some of the balls from my other coworkers and make like a networking night for my students. So yeah. And next is Lynn Brown.
Thank you. So my name's Lynn Brown. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the Office of Career Design in Portland. So we're downtown Portland at the PNCA building. And I'm a Bearcat. I got to tell you, I'm a Bearcat because I graduated with an undergraduate degree from Willamette. My father taught at Willamette while I was in elementary school. I feel like I know the Waller Hall really well. And my son and his wife both completed their master's, their MBA in the professional program here in Portland. So it's kind of wild that I'm at Willamette now at this time in my career. I was the director of career services at Marylhurst University for 14 years. And I was kind of juggling MBA and undergraduate business programs, as well as arts and art therapy. And I wasn't really sure how it was all going to fit here at PNCA and Willamette, and it's been amazing. My employer contacts have transferred really well, and the students are very inspiring. I feel like I learn things every single day. We do follow a professional construct with the National Association of Colleges and Employers, and we actually really respect their research. And we know that there's some things that if you look at students 10 years out from their bachelor's degree and you look back, there are three things that are considered really high impact and very correlated with student success. And that's the completion of an internship. And I work within the framework of the employers that I talk to, the recruiters I talk to, they value the bachelor's degree, but they also want experience in the field. And our best way of providing that experience is through internships. And we actually have more internship hosts than we have students to fill most of the time. We're in a little bit of a post-COVID recovery mode right now, where a lot of people moved around during COVID, and we're reestablishing the pipelines that are really valuable for our students. I'm a big believer in study abroad as another high impact activity. Our physical location at the 511 building is actually in the same office as the Office of International Education. And we spend a lot of time talking with students about how they are a more competitive applicant if they have studied abroad or had cultural experiences outside of the US. As several of my colleagues mentioned, the connection with a faculty member is critical for success. When I was Willamette, and this is going to sound a little old school, but our academic advisor, the head of our academic department, would have their students over for dinner on a regular basis. And that's something that would be really fun to reinstate, because it was a real important connection, both with the faculty member, their family, and the students in the department. We do spend a lot of time working on internships. I would say that's probably 50% of the work that happens. And those internships are what really gives students a competitive edge. We just had a faculty member share this morning in a meeting with us that their student that completed an internship over the summer all of a sudden was able to apply the theories they'd been learning in the classroom in a whole new way, and that was very exciting. The internships are kind of on a rolling registration. They can do internships anytime. I think next slide. When I was working with students in a career services role 10 years ago, when we would do surveys, we would say, what's the most important thing to you? And students would say job security. And what we've been able to learn over the last at least 10 years, for sure since the 2008-2009 job crisis, is that job security is a real myth. You are going to be reinventing yourself all of the time. And one of the things we teach in our professional practice classes is the notion that students need to be free agents in the workplace. They need to be keenly aware and prepared with the skills that they're able to add to an employer. And we consider it to be a problem-solving approach. I talk to recruiters a lot, and they talk about flexitude. And that is one thing that I feel like our students in our career community, the arts, media, and communication, really bring to the workplace, is that notion of both problem solving and flexitude. We are constantly working with employers to create internships, and sometimes, it's very strategic in one sense, but it's also very organic. We have employers coming to us who want to employ our students. And just this last year, since we merged with Willamette, we found that there's some collaborative experiences that have come out of the merger. One is a very exciting internship with the Argyle Winery, where we had 3 interns complete a rigorous internship program over the summer. We're working with the monks at Mount Angel Abbey on a priceless art collection. We currently have 1 Willamette student there and have 2 printmaking students traveling with me tomorrow to view the print collection and begin work on that. I'm working with my colleague Alexander on some internships with Basic Rights of Oregon, focusing on social justice and the whole political scene in Oregon, which is really exciting. Our newest exciting thing is a newsletter that links to current jobs and internships, and also showcases our current students and alumni doing things that they are enjoying doing. And if anyone would like to be on that newsletter list, please send an email to labrown@willamette.edu. That's how I can be reached. I'm turning this back to Mandy, I believe, because I don't think Katrina's here.
That's true. This is our last slide, and I know that there's some questions kind of coming up in the Q&A, but I wanted to let you all know that your students are welcome to book appointments. We use a tool called Handshake. Chances are your student already knows what that is, and they can access it through their Willamette portal. And they can essentially log in, they click Career Center up at the top and click on appointments, and they can meet with any one of the career advisors that align with their interest areas or that they have a connection to or is available to them. And we'd love to get started with them. But we can move into the question and answer portion. Some of these questions in the chat, I know that the team is answering some individual ones. I am going to take a question because I see some team members in here typing, but there is a question that I think applies to many folks around majors, how we're involved in the major declaration process and academic credit for internships. So the major declaration process for us, we're actually involved, this year we'll be involved in a couple of different ways. There is a major fair. Maybe I'll ask Manny what that date is because I can't remember. It's coming up pretty soon. I think it's next week. That we're working on some materials for that. We actually partner with faculty to kind of showcase careers with majors. So the different departments will be there and students kind of go and have a chance to talk to the different departments and different career advisors around declaring a major and career interests and things like that. In terms of getting academic credit for internships, there are some departments that offer academic credit as part of their major, and some departments that rely more on the career development office to offer the academic credit. So we do offer academic credit through interdisciplinary studies through our office. PNCA students also have internship classes that they take for internships in the arts that we work with students on. It depends on how we're partnering with a department. There's lots of different ways to do that. But if your student has questions around that, I am happy to chat with them, or Anne, who leads that, would also be happy to chat with them. Okay, I am looking at some of these other, I was starting to type this, but I'm going to cancel it. There's a comment about a lot of things seem to be focused on first and second year students. What about students who are not first and second year students? I actually want to pass this to one of the advisors. Manny, do you want to talk about how you are engaging your juniors and seniors?
Sure. So with my current juniors and seniors from not only the business major, but from other programs that I've worked alongside with, I do a lot of personal outreach to our students. So personal one-on-one messaging to really build a rapport with our students, know where they are at, be able to find the resources that they need. So if they're looking into graduate school, kind of identifying what programs that they are going into, if they're looking at specific jobs or industries, having conversations with them in regards to what is currently happening in that industry. It's really, I would say, through my advising is really one-on-one and being able to find where the students are at and be able to meet them there. I would say we don't really have a one-size-fits-all type of approach. We really try to customize our approach with our advising to each student, just because every student has different needs. Every student has different desires and attributions and kind of goals that they have for themselves. So it's really about just kind of doing as much as possible in terms of putting ourselves out there. And that's why those faculty partnerships are very important, not only in the first year and second year, but also in their junior and senior years, to really showcase that we are here to support them, regardless where they are in the process, whether they are just starting to think about their own personal career initiative or they're getting ready to go further within their kind of goals.
Okay, great. Ballpark numbers of percentages of WU Arts and Sciences grads who go to grad school. That number is almost always 20% go right into graduate school. That changed during COVID. It went up to 31%. And then this year it's back around 22% or so. It tends to be higher in some career communities than others. For example, our sciences tend to go into graduate school more than some of our other majors. There's an alumni question on here that Abby might want to answer. How many of our alumni are in the Pacific Northwest? I don't know the percentage, but it's a lot. I think the most are in Portland.
Yeah, I would say our biggest tiers are definitely the Willamette Valley. So Portland, Salem, Eugene, Seattle, and then we have a lot of alumni in the Bay Area, but those tend to be our predominant hubs. And then we also have good alumni bases in DC, Honolulu. We're seeing more in Denver. But we have various alumni chapters around, but predominantly the majority of our alumni are found in the Willamette Valley.
Oh, this is great. At UC Berkeley, many professors give extra credit for students to work with career advising. Is that something Willamette professors ever consider? I don't know if we're extra credit, but sometimes we are a required stop along the way. Sometimes we're embedded into the class. So like Manny and I teach a class with a faculty member in the business school. Alexander does, I don't even know how many presentations you could probably say this fall, how many times you've gone to the classroom with your faculty.
I would say probably like 8 to 10 classroom presentations this term already with the faculty and departments that I work closely with.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm actually super proud of is that where I think extra credit is great, I think integration is better. And we have a team that it actively integrates with the faculty and has really strong relationships there. Oh, can you help them find ways to get jobs while abroad or volunteer internships while abroad so they don't lose that time? Oh, Lynn, I was like, this is Lynn's interest. Great, he's already typing an answer. Other questions? We only have a few minutes left. Students who are not only juniors or seniors, but who are disproportionately and severely good. Yes, we've graduated these students. Definitely, we have students who are impacted by COVID. I'm going to take this from the career perspective. There's lots of implications of COVID. Some of this is on family background, access to healthcare, all sorts of inequities around COVID, but I'm going to just focus on the career piece because what has happened with the career piece is that we have students who ordinarily would have had access to study abroad that did not. They have access to internships that were not open. Their networking opportunities have been all online. We address this in a couple of different ways. Some of this is skill gap identification, figuring out the skills that maybe they didn't have a chance to develop and working on ways to allow them to develop those skills, whether that is through alternative programs. I work with a lot of data science students who do some self-study. Maybe they didn't get an internship, so they're going to go earn Tableau certifications or a Microsoft certification or something like that. Or sometimes we're looking at partnerships with alumni for informational interviews or postgraduate internships so that they can launch. Sometimes they graduate and they have not had some of the experiences that they would have ordinarily had. And so they still sometimes have to earn that other ways. Some students have gotten very creative. Some of them partnered with us. And then some of them have earned some experience through either internships, post-grad, or fellowships. It's been great this year because things have actually started to come back. So those students who feel behind, early and often does not just mean first and second year. It means early in your senior year. It means as soon as we can get you in the door. We still work with the majority of seniors. That's who comes most often. So our mantra of early and often is actually to kind of shift that paradigm so that we have a chance to work with your student. So they have a chance to explore. And who knows what's going to happen? Luckily, or hopefully, COVID is more on our peripheral. But when we can work with them early, if things kind of come up, we have a chance to kind of troubleshoot or pivot or do things that we need to do. Oh my gosh, so many questions coming up. Okay, we got that one. You repeat the question, I'm not sure. Okay. My daughter is a sophomore concentrating on her classes. I don't know how much she's thinking about what job she might have after graduation. I want her to enjoy her studies and her college experience without stressing out about what comes next. And I want her to feel confident as she progresses towards graduation. Some idea will happen next. How will career development help her think about what? Hearing empowering and hopeful. Yeah. So the cool thing about Willamette, I think, is that your student's best connection is actually going to be with their faculty advisor. And so that sometimes it's a soft handout for us where they'll say, can you meet with my student? With a team this size and the way that this team operationalizes themselves, hopefully we become someone that they know and that they meet at least one or several career advisors when they're ready to engage, that we can engage with them. You've met the team at this point, and hopefully you hear how excited they are about their work and how inspirational they can be to students in terms of it not being a scary thing to make a career choice, but for them to have an opportunity to talk through their interests and make what we call well-informed choices about not just their career, but just what they want to do next. And that's another way that we make it a little less scary. It's not like, well, what are you going to do in the future? Like, it's more of like, well, let's talk about what you're interested in. So then you can just make a well-informed choice about summer or your part-time job or an internship that you might be excited about. Oh, yay's team, you got a compliment. Of course you did. You're amazing. Did you connect with a current advisor? Oh, yeah. Okay, Alexander's typing an answer there. Do we have everything? Oh, yeah. Okay, Alexander's typing. Do we help them address realistic employment prospects? You betcha. Sometimes that's part of the conversation. We do that kindly, of course, but we want to make sure that they are going to be successful, or if I'm going to use this as an example. How many students tell me they want to work at Nike? It's not going to happen for most of them right out of undergrad. Will they work there maybe someday? Sure, but we have to talk about, well, what skills do you need in order to be competitive, and what are some alternative options for that? And how do we get you excited about the journey, not just the end result that they might want there.
We have time for one more question, Mandy.
We do.
Student who's graduating at semester, mid-year, and kind of how that might work.
We would still love to work with them. We also work with alumni, so it's not like they lose access to the team the day that they graduate. Like, if some students find this to be something they don't have a whole lot of time for. So our job is to get them early or to embed in the classroom. But let's say they graduate and they are like, okay, I had a lot going on. I was thesising and whatever else. Sometimes they'll work with the team after graduation.
Awesome. Well, I think we're a little bit over time, and Mandy, I deeply appreciate the time that you and your whole team have taken sharing all this information with us. And I think, as everybody has indicated, this is an open-ended conversation. Parents and family members, you're encouraged to reach out directly to career advisors as it makes sense, or other members of the team, or Abby, or me. And we are happy to assist you and continue the conversation and point you in the right direction. But I hope this was a valuable experience for you this evening, and you learned a lot about our career development team and the programs that are offered through, yes, this expanded bench of members. It's just been, this team is fantastic, and it's really fun to work with you all. So thanks for being with us tonight, and take care.